Election, Republican state lawmakers control 90% of the state House and 90% of the state Senate. Josh Meny put together a post-election focus group with 4 individuals of varying political viewpoints. And the first point of discussion was term limits. If the voters overwhelmingly support one party state government, why would they conversely also pass a term limits measure that threatens the Republicans' supermajority control?
Republicans now have 90% majorities in both chambers. Why do you think people approve term limits?
Term limits is one of the items that came out of the election last night that I can't really wrap my head around. It passed with 34%, which I was expecting. But we also elected a significant amount of incumbent Republican legislators. And that's really what I can't wrap my mind around, because if we want term limits, we simply need to vote for new people.
Matthew, where are you with that, and where are your fellow young Republicans on the term limits measure? Did any support term limits for the legislature and the governor?
There's members in North Dakota Young Republicans who do support it. I'm personally against term limits, the specific measure. I don't think it's very powerful to the voter to take away their vote and limit them, and then also empower more lobbyists who are unelected people that cannot be held accountable by the voters. I can be held accountable by my voters in District 7, but are they going to be able to hold accountable some random lobbyist? They can't.
Amelia, jumping to you, the national platform for the Democratic Party. What does the Dem-NPL need to do, the party you're a part of, to reach more voters?
We're middle of the country Democrats, and that's very different than a coastal Democrat. One of the things I heard time and time again is, you want to take my guns. I'm a hunter. I'm a certified hunter safety instructor. I own a gun. I'm not trying to take anybody's guns, right? But that's the story that's heard, because national news is consumed at a much faster rate and much more regularly than local news. So I think that there needs to be a distance. There's a reason that the Democratic Party in North Dakota is called the Democratic Nonpartisan League, right? If you look at the history, it started as the Nonpartisan League, and I feel like we are, as Democrats, as David said, we're conservative compared to a coastal Democrat, but we're progressive compared to a middle-of-the-country Republican.
To build on Amelia's point about the prominence of national news coverage and how much of that gets consumed, and how, I guess I would challenge the viewers and maybe challenge you to make local issues a little bit more on the forefront, more exciting, bring those issues out, so that those are the issues at the top of people's mind when they're going to the polls, instead of those knee-jerk sort of issues that we're not even really deciding in our local elections.
Well, I really look forward to coming out of this election cycle with a lot of energy. I know I've talked to my counterparts across the nation today, and some people are a little downtrodden, but I left talking to several statewide candidates that still have energy to continue on. And continue to be statewide candidates in this next election cycle. I think we did retain a lot of seats. We got a lot of municipal people elected back in June. And I'm really excited to continue to tell our story and to still affect change in the legislative session coming up.
Amelia Dahl, former Burleigh County Commission candidate, Matthew Heilman from the Young Republicans, David Witham, an independent Bismarck architect, and Patrick Hart, the Dem-NPL chair. Thank you.
And Matthew Heilman tells KX News that Tuesday was a good night for the North Dakota Young Republicans. 5 of their endorsed candidates won offices in the state legislature, and another was elected Burleigh County auditor. Heilman also won his seat for District 7 on Tuesday night.